Hello, hi, welcome everyone to Explorers of Elsewhere's Tales from Elsewhere. Hi, I'm DM Dan, and these are some diligence folk. came a bit stuck there, didn't I?
Tried not to swear in the first 5 minutes.
Yes. We pick up with our adventurers, with our explorers, having recently returned to the town of Islebridge with the two kidnapped daughters in tow. Daughters that were due to inherit the family responsibilities of basically running this small, quaint little town. There is a mystery that our explorers here have been unpicking, revolving around the kidnap of these young ladies. And now that you're back, you are about to enact a plan to see if you can unpick the final few threads and watch this whole sweater fall apart. Sound about right?
Sounds about right.
Beautiful. Well, if you're watching this for the first time, hello. If you're watching this live, hello. Thank you for joining us. If you're not watching this live, then tell you what, treat yourself by clicking the like button and hitting the subscribe button as well, because there's going to be loads of stuff like this. With that in mind, who wants to jump into the title screen and then crack on with this final part of the tale? Let's go. All across the unknown world, rediscovery pushes ever onwards to find the lands and people lost. All thanks to our brave explorers.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Vanya, the Wolfkin Warrior.
Hey, I'm Livy. I'm going to be playing Rayri, the Sprite Ranger.
Hi, my name's Theo, and I'm playing Cal, the Sangvar Guardian.
I'm Georgia, and I will be playing Elfric Stormhorn, a Dragon Scent Bard.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm playing Azakar, a Majani Seraph.
And my name is DM Dan, the GM in these adventures. The further we go, the more we learn of these magical tales from elsewhere. And so, let's turn the music back on. We find you outside a old looking tavern that has recently seen a fair amount of recent renovation. The sign above the door reads The Horse's Head, and the tavern is peculiarly built in the middle of this very large, very wide stone bridge that spans a river that bisects the town of Islebridge. On either side of you, on the ends of the bridges, you can see the town of Islebridge kind of reaching out, and it is a curious mix of sprite and non-sprite sized buildings to create a very kind of higgledy-piggledy skyline. But as the five of you stand in front of the Horse's Head, you step in. I'll pass this off to you. What time of day is it? What time did you time? When did you time for this encounter to happen? Like morning, afternoon, evening, night,
Dusk.
Dusk. Yeah, I can imagine
Dusk.
we've been up and down.
Yeah, because I was going to say it's
getting in
definitely
at like
later in the day.
Okay.
5.
Dusk. Okay. In which case, as the sun is setting and the sky is an assortment of beautiful, warm, reddish, orangish, purplish hues, you can see the townsfolk of Islebridge kind of ambling past you. None of them are really paying that much close attention to the two cloaked sprites that you've got kind of tucked around the corner. The cloaked sprites being Capuline, Fisby and Montana Fyram of their respective clans. But the five of you head in to the Horse's Head. And as you enter, sat at one of the tables, quite like caricaturely, what's that word? Counting stacks of gold coins. Is this rather large, handle like mutton chopped Laravar man who sort of like turns and looks at you and sort of like squints for a moment to see who it is that's just entered, and noticing that it's you, he surges to his feet. You recognise this man to be Varin Verizon, the Laravar that hired you for this job, and seemingly the architect of the whole kidnapping plot. Well, as the day draws near, you are back, and I assume you are back the victors. You are victorious. You have successfully completed your mission. I applaud you. He says as he stands up and literally starts clapping.
Is there anyone else in the tavern?
Behind the bar, you see Myrtle, the goblin lady. There's a couple of kind of sprites. There's a couple of town folks dotted around, but currently it's not quite late enough for everyone to have started to sort of like come out. You're in the run up to it, but yeah, like the sprites look over in curiosity as Varen, you know, who's a giant amongst these people, stands up and begins publicly applauding you.
I reach up and take both of his hands and just kind of clasp them. Have we got somewhere we can talk?
Why, of course we do. I mean,
Just a bit more private.
A bit private? Why, yes. Myrtle, you keep an eye on the floor here. We're gonna go to the back room. Please follow me to my office, he says. And
you might want to sit down.
He sort of looks at you curiously. He leads you to what is effectively a converted like cleaning closet under the stairs. That's just about got a table. It's got a desk in, and he managed to sort of like squeeze round it and take a seat. And you can see that arrayed on the desk are a number of relatively small, on the desk and on the walls, a number of small drawn, like artist painted pictures of Varin Verizon. So this man is literally confronted with his own visage, like 8 times over in this small understair cubbyhole. Squeeze in. We haven't got any sheets, I'm afraid. We're still waiting to knock this wall through, he says, banging on the wall to his left. But come in, close the door behind you if you can. So, what good news do you have for me?
Maybe just kind of looks around.
I am afraid it is not good news we have. Would one of the girls had like a scarf or a neckerchief or something that would have been easy to take off them?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. He's obviously got these neckerchiefs from the girls before going in, and he sort of places them on the desk and says, "It appeared we found them, but it was too late. Unfortunately, it looked like the bandits got to them."
The Laravar man is like sat. He's rocking on this small chair. This is a small wooden stool, so he's just rocking on its back 2 legs. And as you say that, like, he's looking at the 5 of you with this like sales advisor smile on, and then you can see the point where your words register, because his eyes go wide and he wobbles on his chair and then slams back forward. And I'm sorry, they did what?
We found their bodies.
And then clearly you did something and brought them back to life, I assume, given that you are, all powerful explorers.
We do not have that power.
So they're dead.
Unfortunately, so yes.
And you all saw that they were dead?
Yeah.
That is a shame. That's a damn shame. Oh, it's gonna break their hearts. The Tiber and Benville, the love that they have for their daughters it will bring a tear to the eye. You're sure they're dead?
Sniffing hit and listening to his sort of micro expressions and his reactions, his heartbeat. What's this seem like right now? Does it seem like someone who is a bit shooken because of news of people's important people's passing, or shooken because his
I think he's hopeful. I don't think he's even shooken.
or is he hopeful? What's this guy? What's the sense we're gonna get from him?
With your acute senses, you have, as he's talking, anyone who's happens to be able to see Vanier, Vanier, you can't help but grimace slightly, because there is a distinct stench of flatulence in the air, and you, to the point where you wonder if Varen here has farted in shock. And he seems genuinely kind of shocked. There was a point when the news was first broken, and he did seem genuinely surprised. But the way that his eyes are kind of flicking from side to side, the way that his brow is kind of furrowed but moving around, it's almost like you're watching a machine process something. You can almost visually see him processing this information, to the point where he does seem genuinely kind of put out and a bit surprised, but he doesn't seem sad. So yeah, and he's currently looking at you, having just asked, they're definitely dead. And he looks to the five of you, waiting for,
just pointing towards the evidence on the table.
We will be taking these and the other evidence that we found to obviously the proper authorities.
Varen nods. That's a real shame. A real shame. Anyway, he says, clapping his lap, if you've got this evidence of this foul play by these bandits, I suggest, if you go over and speak to Sheriff Perrin, if you like, you can leave the real hard conversation with the parents, with Tiber and Benville. You can leave that up to me. I mean, I see them as pillars of this community, and I feel that I need to offer my sincerest condolences and my support in their time of need. And the now unfortunate reality of their misfortune.
Yes, the evidence, it was quite interesting. Obviously, we can't share. Some letters that we found. Some sketches.
He nods, and letters and sketches, you say? Well, what of?
I think that's better to take to the authorities.
Vanya, well, actually, I say Vanya, all of you. You watch as he, and then his eyes start like flitting to each of you in turn, and like the brow starts processing and furrowing. And then he, right, well, yes, of course. I mean, you should do what you need to do, but, I mean, although it's not the outcome that we were expecting, I'm thankful that you have managed to complete the task that I set you. I mean, by the wording of the letter, you were asked to bring back the two daughters, and it was, expected that they would be on this mortal coil. But as that is not the case, I feel that you have not completely completed the terms of your contract. So I will have to speak with your superiors as to negotiating a reduction in the pay that I forward to you for a task well tried but not completed. I'm sure you understand from business people to business people.
I don't think the money aspect is currently on our minds, considering that two young people have lost their lives.
Well, yes, it's thinking about the grease of life, of society, of civilization, no less. That it plagues my mind so much is both a blessing and a curse. But don't you worry. You do what you need to do, he says, and you can see he's now sort of like scanning you to see if you've got this, like, these letters and sketches you've mentioned poking out. And you do what you need to do, and I'll break the bad news. How's about that?
It's okay. You look troubled enough. We will go and talk to the families.
No, you've done quite a lot, he says, and he stands up, and suddenly the room feels a lot smaller with him sort of like two hands leaning on his desk. I insist. Tell you what, you've had a bit of an escapade. Why don't you drink some food on the house? You grab a seat outside, and we'll take care of you. And then we'll smooth everything over. How's that sound?
We will complete our job first. Then maybe we'll return.
He smiles with gritted teeth.
Riri looks over at Alfric after they'd had a conversation about things that Alfric might be able to do for certain periods of time.
Alfric catches her eye and is like,
And Riri goes, a minute, right?
a minute.
A minute?
Riri slams her hand down. You did it! You did it! We know you kidnapped those girls and you wanted them to leave, and it's all on you. We're going to tell them all.
As Riri, like, bear in mind, this is a Laurel outside table.
I jump on the table from at his midnight.
Okay, fine. I was going to say, you slam the table, bang, and then climb up. Yeah, as you sort of like stand there jabbing and pointing at him, Varen looks visibly shocked and rattled at this very angry Ignis Sprite shouting in his face. And then presumably also there's a from Vinny somewhere in the room as
Vinny's
well.
just at his legs.
And you all watch as, like, this shocked Lorovar man, like, leans away from you for a moment, and then the shock turns into this kind of smirk. Well, that's all good to say, but I have a suspicion that you do not have any evidence to back up these baseless claims of slander. And certainly within the town of Islebridge, the laws of justice pride themselves on the integrity of their evidence and proof. It might ruffle a few feathers for you to go around spouting such heinous nonsense.
I think you'll find we have more than enough evidence.
Varen...
Yes, Mr. Vivi.
Varen looks and... Okay, you got me.
No.
But I was only operating on the express... Only operating on the express instruction of Tiber, Fisby, and Benville Firearm. I think you'll find that there are stamps on any incriminating letters that would also shoulder the blame on those who requested my services as a middleman.
I think this is the time to use that thing now.
I can either use that or I can put him to sleep.
I mean, get
Put
rid
him
of
to
the
sleep.
Yeah,
Can you not just
No,
get rid
I-
of his memory first and then sleep?
I can do both. I DM Dan, am I okay to wipe his memory and then put him to sleep?
So hang on, is it just like spend a hope?
So it's recant. He does have to make a reaction roll, and if he fails, he forgets the last minute of conversation.
Okay.
And then slumber is a spellcast roll.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you can do them back to back, although he, depending on how the first, whatever you roll first goes, that more potentially change the outcome. But bear in mind at the moment he is saying that if it seems like he knows what you've got, but it's if you use that it will be a bit scorched earth.
But he knows that we know that he knows that we know.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we take his memory, then he won't know that we know.
Yeah.
Unless he stole the stamps. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I know. I
I know. I think the parents aren't now. If the
I
parents
wonder
are
if
in
they're
it,
in on it. I wonder if they wanted to scare them, so they wouldn't join the Adventurers Guild.
For
But then it
those
has to
interested, roll me a instinct.
Ah, an instinct, yeah. I'll roll that.
2.
What? Wait. Oh,
Ooh.
we both rolled at the same
Wait.
time. Oh my god.
All the
There's
dice.
so many dice.
All the dice. Okay, what we've
I
got?
got it. I got a 19 with fear.
Ray rolled less with fear. Cal rolled.
5 with fear. Fuck that. That's
Okay, so Vanier, 16
Yeah,
with hope,
16 with hope.
and Alfric,
So-
14 plus.
I'm gonna add that to a Slayer die.
Sure. So Alfric rolled with hope. I mean, unless you want me to farm 3 fear. This is more just a reaction roll.
Oh, is it a reaction? Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Fair.
So, Vanier and Alfric, you recognise as he says this, as he reveals that Tiber Fisby and Benville Fireman, so the two girls' parents, but they will be implicated in whatever claims you make against him. The way that he pouts, you get the impression that the parents aren't involved, and in fact he's done that to cover himself.
I think we should put him to sleep and then rifle through his things.
I think we should kill him.
Maybe wipe his memory and then sleep?
Yeah, that was my plan. He might resist one or both.
Well, might as well try, because I can certainly just knock the man out. If it all fails.
Okay, Alfric, as he stood there pouting, but he's got this like irritating bravado about him that says like, "I've got you cornered." Ha 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 ha. Yeah, what do you do? What does your mind wipe look like?
I think Alfric very much does not enjoy this man's company, and he sort of hurries up next to Rori's on the desk. He goes, I don't really like you. And then he snaps his fingers in front of his face.
I was hoping it would just be with the violin in a cramped room.
It's a little violin version.
I don't think there's room in this cupboard for me and my bike.
No. Okay,
It's like
so
smacking Cal in the moustache.
So, as you kind of channel this mind-altering magic, what does he need to roll?
He needs to roll a... So I'm scrolling. A reaction roll.
A reaction roll. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds.
15.
15.
Mhm.
Okay. There he is. So, oh, interesting. This is a straight D20 roll. Boom! Here we go.
Didn't you have prayer dice or something? Do they work with?
No, they don't act with reaction.
I mean, it's a 15, so he's...
He's rolled a 17.
That's what I was...
As you click,
Nothing.
he pulls his chin back into his chest as you click at him, and like his eyes glass over slightly for a second, and then you just tried to do something funny to me, he says, and he like his face goes beet red as he and his jowls start wobbling as he points a finger at you.
You're like, I'm sorry, sleep.
And then he pulls out a violin.
Plan two.
Okay, plan 2, in which case, yeah, as you pull out your violin, please make me a spellcast roll.
That's just a normal roll.
Yeah.
Is it? Yep.
So for all intents and purposes, you're not in no.
Fucking hell.
Okay, in which case, you're like plan B, and then you go to reach for your violin, and then it just gets caught in everyone. Like it kind of gets caught on Cal's sleeve, and then your bow comes out, and you like elbow Azakar in the chin. And this music is far too peaceful. As you attempt to like get your violin spellcasting focus out, he's like shaking, beet red in the face, and he looks to you all, and like his eyes are beginning to bulge slightly as he
would like to cast recant on himself.
like at the sheer indignation of it. And I'm not going to take a fear, because instead he shouts, "Murder! Murder!" And like he throws a hand down on a small, what looks to be like a small golden bust of himself, but then as he looks up to you, he then turns this bust 90 degrees and it just rotates on the neck. And as he does that, the section of floor that he stood on in front of this like back wall suddenly rotates, and he disappears through this rotating wall that he's installed.
Indiana Jones us, bastard.
Scooby Doo.
And you like in the confusion of Alfred kind of getting tangled up with everyone, you just watch him as he just slides out and is replaced by a very confused looking sprite patron. Says the sprite. But you can hear him through the wall shouting, "Murder! Murder!" Who's first in the initiative?
Does it sound like his Myrtle sounding is now coming from back in the bar?
Yeah.
So
I'm
we're
running
going to be
back to
flipped
me.
round. So I'm going to be furthest in the room, I guess. And then
No. So
I feel like
basically, the room that you're in, like half of it was rotating
gone.
platform. So he's just pivoted out and left you in. So I see what you mean. You and Alfric are furthest from the door.
Yeah. I feel like I'm probably at the back, so I literally have bolted out back into the pub. And like my hand going towards. I don't intend to kill this man. I want to knock him out.
Okay.
For the record, if I get hold of him, I am knocking him out. But yeah, that's the plan.
In which case, as you kind of chase him out of, as you burst out of this little understair cubby room, and you emerge back into the main area of the main drinking area of the tavern, you can see Varen like running across the drink hall, shouting, "They're trying to kill me! They're trying to kill me!" And like the sprite patrons that are in there are just, what? Like there's one really confused looking like Asavar woman that's just watched her date disappear into the wall. And like as Varen he's clearly sort of like Dr. Robotnik running for the front door. And Cal, you notice that behind the bar, Myrtle, the goblin bar lady, is looking at you with this like really intense stare, and you then watch as her top lip curls as she bares her teeth.
For the moment, I'm ignoring her.
Yeah.
Unless I see a weapon, and I am running after Varen.
Vaulting the bar.
My experience actually has lightning speed.
Okay.
I never use my experiences, but let's do this. Which means I want to try and get as close to him as possible.
Okay.
With the hopes of tackling him to the ground.
I will, in this case, ask for the agility check to see if you can get across,
Sure.
get across this distance, and also between the sprites and the chairs and the tables.
So just to check, will I be able to roll my agility roll plus my experience on top?
Yeah, you can then.
Cool. That would be a +5 roll, which is great.
Yeah. So you're down to 5. Oh, yes. Yes.
Is there a situation where possibly a tag team role would work?
Quite possibly, if someone wants to chip in. Although it seems like I would argue that unless one of you is Kool-Aid manning through the wall.
I mean, I'm strong enough.
If anyone is, it's going to be Vanya.
Well, yeah, because Cal is using like lightning speed to get ahead of you all.
Yeah, I mean, Vanya is super strong, but obviously I don't want to impede on your narrative what you're doing right now. So I'm just checking with you what the boundary is, to whether Vanya can reasonably get to the same point in time to help in this tag team narrative.
I think in this moment, because we are using an experienced lightning reflex, like lightning speed, like Cal has just left you all in the dust.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cal, make me a roll and add +5 to it.
Okay, wish me luck.
Go on, do this.
An 11.
Okay, so 11 +5, so that's a 16 with fear.
Okay. So, you manage to surge across the room. So you manage to surge across the room, and you catch up with Varen, who is definitely slower than you. But as you kind of go to grab him, you with fear, eh? You go to grab him, and as he's stood there going, help, 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 like screaming, like he's got two hands outside the door and he's got his head poking out onto the bridge and he's like, help, help, as you grab him and pull him back in. So alerts have been raised, but as you pull him back into the tavern and he looks at you and like the beet red in his face has now been replaced with just like sheet white. He then, don't hurt me, he says as he brings his hand up, and then like through his fingers he peers back over to the bar and, now Myrtle, now! And you see her pull a lever on the side of the bar counter. And Cal, like you hear this loud clonk that then reverberates through the floor. You can hear different clonks going underfoot. And as you can almost trace the direction of this travelling sound to the wall on the far side of the drinking hall that has a golden, like, bust of a horse's head mounted to the wall. And, like, there's a loud clonk from behind this wall, and then nothing really happens. And Vernon just lets out an involuntary, oh, of disappointment, and then the wall blows out as the horse's head turns out to be attached to some form of arcana tech like construct that punches through the wall, looks around, and it looks quite odd to see this, like, you know when people wear those horse head masks? It's a bit like that. But this construct just kind of like looks around and then spies you and then starts striding towards you. The horse's head golem is now in the encounter.
Can just my reaction be to shout, help?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You've rolled with fear, so I will then take over. The construct strides across the room towards you, Cal, and
did Cal get to take an action?
The action would have been to
Was running.
close the distance.
A tackle.
Okay.
Because I got it with fear, so I got hold of Vernon, but now he's sent something up.
Okay, so I will actually have to not only use your fear, but then spend one of my own fear, because it takes 2 to activate the golem, and it strides, it charges across the room, and +2 makes an attack against you as it like drops its head and tries to headbutt you with the golden bust.
Okay.
A 10 to hit.
That's my evasion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my evasion's a 9, so it does hit.
Okay. You take... you take...
Your evasion's 9?
9. It was an 8.
Yeah, it was an 8.
Rolled.
And rolled.
But plus
So it doesn't
2.
hit.
8
Oh,
plus
plus
2.
2, okay.
Yeah. You take 28 damage as this thing headbutts you with a charge and knocks you to close range. So headbutts you so hard that like you are pulled away from it, like you are knocked away from Vernon, and you kind of crash into the bar on the far side, and like sprites go scattering in panic as you are flung across the room.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember, 'cause it's been a little while. So that was 28 damage, you said?
Yeah.
I need to get my damage, because that's severe damage for me, which is not great.
So you
I
can
need to get my damage down from
You can use an armor
28.
slot.
Yeah, so if I use an armor slot
That'll drop it to major.
to major damage, so I only take 2.
Out of curiosity, how many armor slots does everyone have?
I have
Like 9.
I
or
have
something.
9. I have 9 because I have bare bones
Yeah.
and something to do with my vengeance stuff.
Vanya's got
I
loads,
got
right?
8.
I've got 8 as well.
I've got 7.
Okay. I am going to implement a house rule right now. Against Matt Mercer's wishes, we can now spend multiple armor slots on a single attack, because you could before. It kind of makes sense to, and I don't think Cal can survive another 8 of these attacks. So, yeah, you can absolutely blow more than one armor slot to reduce multiple steps.
So yeah, so I can bring it. If I do another one, it'll bring me down to minor damage.
Yeah, so 1
So
damage.
if I do that, so I have 1 HP. Cool, that's fine. That was not very nice.
No.
Cal is not in a good place.
It just, yeah, because you're covered in like the dust from the plaster dust from the wall. This rather expensive and ornate looking kind of Arcana Tech golem with this head just haphazardly attached to the front in such a way that it could hide in a wall. But yeah, it's head butted you and it sort of like rears up over you as Varen just is seemingly shocked by the efficiency of his golem. Who's next?
Could I?
Oh, yeah.
I was just saying, could I, as a small thing before I got hit, because I was technically holding Vernon before.
Does he go
that
with you?
happened. Could I either? I'm trying to think of what Cal would do. Like, with the instinct of I'm gonna just chuck him chuck him out of the way, so he's gonna get hit anyway. But having Vernon be disorientated so he doesn't just run off.
Sure.
Like just using all of his own strength that he has in that moment to get him out of the way. Would that be okay or not?
Give me another agility check. An agility reaction roll.
Sure, let's do that. That's better, and then agility is 3, so that's a.
Let's say 18. Okay, so yeah, in which case you were quick enough to react to do something with Varen before you got sideswiped. So what is it you wanted to do?
I just want to chuck him so he's disorientated.
Okay.
So maybe like chucking him against that wall that's nearby, so he can't really react.
Sure.
Can't go anywhere, but I still take the full brunt of the hit from the horse's head.
Cool. Yeah, so you've managed to pull kind of Varen in, like bounce him off one of the pillars to kind of knock him off balance, and he's on his arse. But you are sprawled out.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Who wants to step in next on initiative?
Ooh.
I think Vanya. Vanya wants to step in next on initiative.
Yeah. So, am I able to close the distance? I don't know, obviously, what the scale is here, but am I able to get there with my movement?
The
golem.
Do you want to go through the wall?
Sure.
You know it's a fourth wall now because you've just seen it rotate. Okay, I will ask you for a strength check, like a reaction strength check to try and. I think it would just be a bog standard strength check. I'm
gonna do. I'll do a strength check. If it's, is this a reaction or is this?
No, it's a full blown roll.
Okay, so hope and fear does matter,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's. Let me just get there.
So to paint the picture, you're in the room, and this little sprite that's just been rotated in is looking up at you. Can I help? He said, "Who are you? Where am I?"
Pardon me. Let me just roll.
Okay.
Because
of the Oh, it's a crit.
Crit.
Great, yeah.
Okay, so as this sprite is
I'm gonna put that
demanding
to a
to
slayer
know
die.
who you are, like, because also for the cramp, you've had to sort of like roll round and over Rayri and Alfric to get to the wall that Varen's disappeared
Yeah.
through. But yeah,
Just gauntlets first, almost like a ball.
from the perspective of someone in the main drinking hall, what does this look like? Like, they've just seen a wall rotate round, and like a sprite's disappeared. They've seen this Laravar man appear, going, "He's trying to kill me!" He's run across the room, made it to the front door, been pulled back by this Asavar. Then a golem has burst out of a wall, headbutted this Asavar across the room. And then, like, in this split second of peace, what do they then see?
They then see, as their focus is on this chaos, but then a smash in the wall brings their attention, and the camera pans around to, like, almost not like floor level, but almost like in the air, like, level. This let's just say a big enough hole just breaks open as a gust of wind and ice comes through, as Vanier uses that momentum to leap into the air towards what you thought would have been this what's the guy's name again?
Varen.
Varen. Who thought it'd be Varen, and then sees this like massive golem.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think there would be shock, but there's just this wide grin and bloodlust in Vanier's head, like, finally a monster. And he just goes for the hunt for the monster instead.
For the
He kind of forgets
for the horse head golem.
Yep.
Okay.
And because I'm assuming the horse head golems push these guys away, he's in the firing line anyway.
Yeah.
So Vanier's just come straight through the wall to the golem without expecting to, but
In which case, as you come through in a very, like I say, the horse head mask, just his face kind of peers at you as you come through the wall, like fist raised. Yeah, by all means, you can go straight in for the attack.
sweet.
And are you taking the hope or putting that in for Slayer?
I put that as a Slayer die.
Okay.
Would you argue, because I got it as a crit, yeah, I could have that with advantage?
Sure.
Thanks.
Sure.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna spend, because of this big dude.
Mm-hmm.
After that short rest we had, I got my deadly focus back. So that's once per short rest, you can just apply your focus towards a single target, which is going to be this golem. And now my proficiency has gone up by 1. Doesn't it? Yeah. So my proficiency is now plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's do this. I got advantage. I'm doing an attack roll. Where's the roller? There it is. I got advantage.
So 19
plus
with hope.
3 on top of that.
22 with hope. Okay, very good.
And I'm going to add another Slayer die.
Sure.
Instead of getting hope.
A 20 yes hits.
As he comes barreling down towards this creature, the momentum coming through the wall, and this gale of wind and frost, as everyone's just like getting plaster in their eye.
Yes.
He comes crashing and barreling down his fist. I get to, so yeah, it's 3d10 plus 3. Let me just do that. So that's 19 points of magical damage. If that affects any resistance or whatever. If he's a golem, he might be resistant to one or the other. I don't know.
Nope, that is fine. So 19 points of damage is major damage.
Oh wait, I forgot to add my Slayer die.
Oh,
I'm going to play my 2d6 Slayer die on top of this.
So you're on 19 at the moment, yeah.
Where's the roller system? There it is. Roll. +10.
So 29 is severe damage.
More like it.
And so as you come bursting through the wall, I'm almost imagining pseudo like Wolverine crouch jump through the wall. And as your fist connects, the snout of the horse bends, because I mean gold's quite a malleable metal at the best of times. But as your fist kind of carries through, like bends his snout down to the right, you buckle a lot of the metal plating that this thing is constructed of, and you can hear the sounds of like the cog work inside kind of clacking against the inside of the now buckled armored hide, and it rocks this golem a good few steps, and it staggers and collapses to the ground. But yeah, it's taken 3 damage.
And just, I guess Vanya would like someone shouting out something like, "Someone get the guy! This one's mine."
Who, Asgar, Rayri, or Alfred, who wants to jump in next? You now have a more direct route to the drinking hall.
You're welcome.
I think. Rayri's going to take. Rayri sees the hole, and looks to Vinny. Vinny, get him! And she points at Myrtle.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like the look of her.
No.
Points at Myrtle. Come. And is going to fly through the wall and run towards Myrtle.
Okay. Yeah, that is absolutely fine. Make an attack roll. That was a 19
with hope.
So 19 plus. So yeah, 19 plus something. Absolutely hits Myrtle. So you've noticed as you stand up on the desk and you're looking through the hole, the Vanya-shaped hole in the wall, Myrtle appears to have 2 like bottled concoctions in her hands.
That's what I thought she would. Yeah.
And it looks like she's just been mixing something together. But as she sort of like stands tall with these 2 cocktails in hand, she hears a bark and a woof, and as she looks around, she's then barreled into by Vinny. Roll for damage. 13.
Sorry, that's plus 3.
16.
16. Chomp damage.
Okay. In which case, as Vinny jumps out, you hear a crunch as he like bites down on Myrtle's left arm, and and then she drops the cocktail, and it like clonks onto the floor and rolls away. And luckily, you rolled with hope, I believe. You roll with hope, so it doesn't kind of break and crack when it hits the ground. But that is severe damage for her. That is 3 damage to good old Myrtle. Okay. And as Vinny, who wants to step in next?
I think Alfric looks up at his remaining companion. He's like, "I am dreadfully sorry."
It's all right. It's your first run.
Alfred, what do you do? What do you do to redeem yourself?
He's going to sort of stumble run out of this hole into the chaos that is this dining hall now. He's going to see the chaos going on with Myrtle. He's going to see the chaos going on with this horse
Thing.
He's going to see Cal injured, and he's gonna go for the horse. He's gonna okay. There's one spell I know I can't fuck up.
Levitate.
Levitate. He's gonna cast Arcane Barrage.
Okay.
Barrage.
Okay, barrage. Very good, very good. Yeah, please roll me an attack roll.
Yes. It always hits, I think. Yes, automatically strikes. So it's
direct damage.
So yes, I just roll a d6, I believe.
Okay, very good.
And that is where's my d6? Per roll. Cool. 6.
Is it based on proficiency or anything like that?
So have you got 2?
So I will spend 2 hope.
Okay.
So that's double. So that's 12.
2 hope. So you're down to 3. Ravi's capped at 6, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so 12 damage is minor. So 1 point of damage on the golem as it's staggered as it's picking itself up as you emerge and pummel it. What they look like musical notes, right?
Yeah, so he finally gets his violin out of his thing. And he's just like desperately filling away at it, and the musical notes fly out and smack the horse.
Okay, in which case, yeah, the golem kind of brings an arm up, and as the notes impact it, and as it does, you can see, thanks to the armor that's been buckled by Vanier's strike, you can see inside, inside the creature or inside the construct through its side, and behind all of the sort of like the clacking gears and cogs within it, there is a clearly magical glow, presumably of the power source that's running this thing. You roll with hope, so we go on to Azakar.
How, with looking through the wall, how far away is the horse? Is the golem?
Close.
Oh, it's clear. That's cool. I'm gonna bolt beacon that bastard.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, roll to hit. It's pinned him spot by this barrage of musical notes.
That's a +3, so 14.
A 14 with fear. In which case, yeah, as you channel your bolt beacon and fire it out the hole in the wall towards the golem, the barrage stops and it turns and brings its undamaged left arm to bear, and the bolt beacon is deflected from an armor plating on the forearm. That is a miss, unfortunately.
I was going to actually say, could I add a prayer dice to that roll?
You can absolutely add a prayer dice to that roll. So you're on 14.
I'll add a 4 to that, so that'll make an 18.
Brings its arm up, and it refracts off the plating. It catches it on the shoulder, on the arm plate, and as it holds for a moment, it then buckles under the weight, and you hit it.
Yay! That is 7 + 2. That is that's a 9.
9 damage is minor damage. It takes 1 hit point, and it's now tagged. It's easier to hit for someone else, right?
Yeah, he's now vulnerable.
Okay, very, very good. Well, the golem staggers back as you strike it with the bolt beacon. As you've rolled with fear, I'm going to step in, and this time, as she's being flung around by Vinny, Myrtle shouts, "Eat this! Eat this!" she says as she who's let's see, actually, let's go with sure. She launches this well, she smacks Vinny with the bottle to try and get him to release her. She's gonna roll a not very high roll. Oh, what is it? Ow, I've lost my stat block. There we go. She's gonna roll +1. She rolls a 15 to hit Vinny.
Pretty sure that will hit. So,
Uh,
that will hit Vinny. Yeah.
That will hit. Okay. In which case, as the bottle breaks, Vinny takes a total of 14 damage.
No worries.
And as she cracks this bottle over Vinny's head and he doesn't let go, she's just, I've got more where that come from, and she like starts reaching for other drinks off the bar to wield as weapons. Back to you lot. Who wants to start next round?
I think Cal needs to do something now.
Yeah.
He's been on the floor for a bit.
So it's back.
Yeah,
Oh.
old man. Oh. Right, where is matey boy? Where's Vernon? Is he near me? What's he been doing?
So for all intents and purposes, you are like in the corner near the front door. Like, so you're in the corner of the wall and the bar, and the front door is like just round the, like just out of arm's reach. Varen is on the other side of the door, like slid up against a supporting pillar. So within very close range of you for all intents and purposes. But kind of sandwiched, like towering over you, is this the horse-headed golem that's being assaulted by magical attacks.
Okay, so it is still attacking me. Okay.
It's stood over you for all intents and purposes.
Okay. Cool. I will then. I will fight this thing using my broadsword and my dagger. I think because. Oh no, it's a arcane magic user, not something that's magical, so I can't use my. That's fine. So it's just paired, so it's +3 for my attack. So.
Would you like aid in this in terms of
Yeah, that would be good.
roll?
Now that we're both like so
Now that
Cal's
we're
got.
both
Yeah, now we're both.
I didn't want to hit on your call,
No,
but
we're
I feel
good.
like this is a moment between us to beat
Okay.
this thing up.
So Vanier's dropping 3 hope for a tag team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Cal, how are you starting it? And then Vanier, how are you adding a little sprinkling to it?
I feel like there's probably for some reason I imagine Vanya like punching the thing into my sword. So you actually like physically like you're pushing him straight into my sword. So I think that would be quite good. So as Cal gets up and gets into the zone, you punch towards in the middle. I'm not explaining myself.
I will
but
flavour this a bit, like to empower that based on the roll. Because if I want to see how our rolls work with this.
I was gonna say
maneuver.
Both of you make your attack rolls.
So mine should be +3. I'm just gonna double check something though, Dan, before I do anything. I don't really know how to use it because I don't use it very often, but I have the Unstoppable class feature. So I'm just checking there's nothing there I need to do to make that work. Whenever you deal 1 or more hit points to an adversary, increase the Unstoppable die by 1. So okay.
Have you? Yeah, are you activating your
Haven't used
unstoppable?
Yeah, so I'm activating my Unstoppable, but I haven't used it yet. So
Yeah, so it'll be the die, whatever number it's on. I think it starts on a lower number and it increases.
It's like an
over time.
increasing
okay.
rage.
Cool. Nice. That's fine. So yeah, so I'm also activating that.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll be useful. Okay.
Cool. DM, for your knowledge as well, I'm gonna spend another hope to use one of my experiences, Thrill of the Hunt.
Yes.
As I'm, this piece is my one focus right now, and Vanya's just loving the fight. I'm fighting the beast.
Okay. So plus
So
2
I'm down
for
to
your
one
roll.
hope. It's a +3 because I've bumped up my experience.
Plus
so now
3,
I'm on
okay.
a +6 total now
Okay.
with this attack.
In which case,
Mine's
the two of you
+3.
roll them bones. So we've got 12.
+6.
It's 15 for me.
So
I got a 15 15 with hope.
both roll 15 with hope.
So I guess it doesn't matter which way we go.
So Cal, you kind of pick yourself up, and seeing Vanier as you, like Vanier leaps forward and kind of goes to, in effect, shoulder barge, like shunt the golem off balance towards you, and like you see it about to happen, so you surge to your feet to be ready for it. But Vanier, as you plow in, the golem spins round and blocks and like parries your hands away and knocks you off balance. A 15 does not hit.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Unless Azakar is handing out an advantage, I think, for Bolt Beacon.
Oh yes, that's true.
Is it advantage? Yeah.
It's advantage. So yeah, we'll get a roll.
Do we get to add +6 or not?
So we get
+6.
a +6 to one of the rolls. So why not? You roll a d6 for us.
Okay. I roll it.
Yeah, roll it.
It's 2.
So Cal's now on a 17 with hope.
Yep.
In which
Would you
case,
like it to make it? Would you like to use my last prayer dice? To add an extra 2 to it? To make it a 19?
Yeah, make it a
That would
19.
be lovely. Because then it will hit.
As Azakar is going to see the both of you like tag teaming and just sort of make a quick iron prayer to sort of send out to the both of you.
okay.
Yeah.
In which case, there's a flash of light that kind of disrupts the golem. Like it doesn't see as such, but perhaps this kind of magical flash disrupts its arcane kind of matrices. But as it rocks, that then it slows it down momentarily enough that Vanier, it goes to parry you, but you're able to grab its arm.
Yeah.
And a 19 to hit for Cal means that it's kind of busy with Vanier as you rise up to strike it. The two of you can roll for damage.
Damage for me is 2d8 plus.
2d8 plus 5, I believe, for you.
Yes, that makes sense.
Remember, yours is what, physical? Hold on, let me just get my damage. I got a 21 for my damage.
21 plus?
No, that's total, because I've
No,
added to the
plus
modifier.
Cal's.
Oh, sorry, plus.
So 33 total between the two of you. In which case, Vanier, as you surge forward and like grab the arm that's about to parry you and you wrench it backwards to rock this thing off balance, Cal, you're able to surge up and in quick succession, your long sword slides up underneath the joints between its shoulder, like its neck, and the bust, the now bent bust of the horse's head, and your broadsword cleaves that off the golem's torso as your Spell Eater dagger slides into its chest cavity and into the mana crystal heart that empowers the thing. And as the Spell Eater cracks the mana crystal and drains its power, the golem twitches erratically, like flings the two of you away, and then like lurches erratically and then collapses to the ground as on the other side of the room you hear a boom as this heavy golden horse's head like dents the wooden floor. And off the back of that, as the two of you sort of like stand over this now destroyed golem, I will spend a fear, and you hear Varen shout, "Bugger that!" he says, as he like crawls across the ground, scrabbles to his feet, and then goes to make it out of the front door. Well, he does make it out the front door.
Does he go past me?
He would be more going past Cal, but before...
Okay. It's because I can do a thing if he's going past my reach.
Sure, let's say you are. Let's say he is.
I, as a warrior, am probably one of the few people that can actually do an attack of opportunity. As part of the warrior feature. And if an adversary tends to leave your melee range, I have to make, rather than strength roll, I have to make an agility reaction roll against their difficulty, and I choose one effect on a success, or two on a critical success. So depending on if I hit, let's go and see. So it's a +2 to this roll. Let's see if I hit. This might not hit, but... $14? Wait, no. I forgot to add my modifier. +2. 16.
16 is a hit.
And with that, I'm going to choose one of the features, which is to keep them from moving.
Okay. In which case, then, as Varen like scrabbles across the ground and then gets up to his feet, and he's just about to like jump out of the front door, there's a as you grab him by the back of the collar and yank him back into the tavern. And as he's like pulled into your space, he looks around wild and he looks around in a crazed manner, shouting like, "Help! Help! They're trying to kill Luke! Look, they're trying to do a murder!" But in the as you hold him and the rest of you kind of filter in and surround him, you can see that a number of the sprite patrons that are in here are just kind of like cowering in the corners watching what's happening. Myrtle's tried to break free of Vinny, but he's just kind of like thrown her around a bit ragdoll style and is now sitting on her to pin her in place. And she, you can just hear the sounds of her feet banging against the floor as she thrashes under Vinny's quite impressive weight. And over this, Varen is just spouting incessantly to try and kind of draw attention to his plight, when the doorway is shadowed by 3 figures. And as you look up, you spy Montana and Capuline, now with their hoods down, stood in front of Sheriff Parron. And seeing him, Varen just shouts, Sheriff, please help me. They've gone mad. They've gone absolutely doolally. And as as the sheriff kind of looks to you and looks at the utter devastation and this shattered golem in bits across the floor, who's got the evidence of Varen's wrongdoings?
I do.
That's a card.
Okay. In which case, yeah, as you present this to the sheriff, he kind of looks it. He reads it over. I suppose they'd also be joined by Tiber, Fisby, and Benville Farram, the parents of the two daughters, and very, very quickly, Varen's very obnoxiously intricate scheme starts to unravel as the matriarch and patriarch are absolutely sure that they don't even have a stamp with their clan logos on them. Why would they need them? Why would they need them?
One out of a potato.
It would seem that is in fact it. So yeah, as Varen, as the extent of Varen's plan is laid bare, the sheriff thanks you for successfully apprehending and unraveling this plot, and yeah, the two daughters are reunited with their parents. That said, as Varen is carted away by the sheriff, the five of you are left in the horse's head. Sorry, Myrtle got carted away as well. You're left in the horse's head. The sprites have been shepherded. The patrons have been shepherded out by the sheriff, but you are left alone with Capulina Montana and their parents. And you realise that there is still, even though he's been apprehended, Varen's plan may still work. So as the girls look to you, almost as if they're asking for permission, almost as if they're kind of awaiting your decision on what should happen, what do you collectively think these two lovers should do?
I think they should do what they want.
Yes.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Yeah. Don't be stuck because their family wants them to do something.
Yeah, I mean, but they have to all come to a agreement on
Who's going to succeed?
who's going to succeed.
Yes.
They have to help with the crossover period, right? They need to
Yes.
find someone who's
They-
happy to replace them.
Yes.
If they just run off, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah. They need to help someone, maybe a
Compromises
friend
need to happen.
of theirs who they can all trust
Like
to
Benvolio,
help fill those roles.
Bendy.
What's Azakar thinking? What's his stance? Because yeah, Tyra and Benville are both saying, oh, well, without these two daughters, everything's going to go to the abyss in a handbasket.
Azakar's conflicted because he's always done what he's told.
Do you, between the five of you, do you know of any individuals or organisations that might be able to help these two flailing clans?
Tippy tap.
Of which Tippy Tap is part of their clan. Do you know of any external organisations that may be able to
Stores
help?
up elsewhere.
Who is it that steps forward to kind of guide these two ladies to the decision they clearly want to make in a way that will appease their parents? Who's and is it Alfric?
I was like, is it Alfred?
No, I think Alfric has been slightly cowed by his inability to assist in the way that he hoped during the apprehension.
Mhm.
I think his little gears in his brain have started to turn, and he's starting to see the connection between this current situation and his situation, and maybe joining the Adventurers Guild is not like the happy adventurous, everything always comes out in the end situation that he has assumed it to be. So I think he takes a little step back with a nervous smile as anyone looks to him.
And a big gauntleted hand just grabs you on the shoulder in reassurance. Come on, Explorer, you've got this.
Right.
You're one of us now, you see.
Well,
You did good. Come on. Tell them what you think they should do.
he steps forward nervously. Well, I think you should do what you want to do. I think if you want to be together, you should be together, and we will assist. The guild will assist in the town. We're full of.
Tiber and Benville kind of furrow their brows, and Benville Fyron, so the elderly ignorant sprite.
We who? The explorers? You're saying that the explorers will help?
Yes, exactly. We're full of people from all over, and I'm sure any issues that may arise, we'll be here. We're just a portal away, of course.
The old man grumbles and grimaces, and then kind of glances over at the elderly mother, Tiber. And then they both turn to look at their daughters, who are in effect sort of like holding hands arm in arm. And the two of them, the two of them kind of glance at one another and then turn back to their parents. I mean, based on of everything that we've seen, the explorers are quite amazing, Father. Papa, they do some amazing things, and if they're able to save us with little to no problem, then I'm sure that they can save Islebridge as well. It's going to be fine. It doesn't have to be us. Sometimes we need a little new to keep things ticking over. And Capuline, fundamentally says the same to her mother. And I think between the four of them, the two parents turn to the five of you and...
When you get the opportunity,
Tiber starts,
please speak to whoever it is who needs to know about our plight, back in wherever it is you come from. We would be happy to receive aid from the explorers. And you two, just make sure that you come back to visit every now and again.
And as the two girls squat and do a little squee, we will call it there. So, a rather frenetic end to our kidnapping mystery, but you did it. You successfully did it. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. So, that wraps up the end of the Daughters of Islebridge tale. We are right near the end of the year now. We're closing in on old Crimbo. So, yeah, we're suspecting, it sounds like we might be doing a little one-shot wonder similar to Halloween in a fortnight's time. So, If you enjoyed this, make sure firstly to hit the like button, but then also hit the bell icon, the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications when we release new videos, such as the next tale that's going to be releasing on the 19th, because that's going to be a one and done, and it's just going to be a jolly old time. And I'm sure that there's going to be a little surprise for the end of the year for this final live stream. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you lot for playing.
Thank you for running the game for us.
Having us.
That is all right. We will catch you later. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.